I'm going to make this really fast because the free software I'm using to record this only gives me 10 minutes to record. So basically you start up, you want to go parallel on localhost. This is the number of processors you have. If you don't know that, go here, go type in dx diag, and while that loads I'm going to turn power on demand there, click OK. This number is how many numbers you put into that parallel thing. So once you have that, you want to go File, Import Surface Mesh, and then find the parasolid file. It's x_t. So open that up, click OK, and then it's going to open up a geometry scene that includes the CAD. So what you're going to do first is make a wind tunnel around the car. And in order to do that, you want to go to Geometry, go to Parts, right click on Parts, New Shape Part Block. The block that comes up is going to be encompassing the car. So what you want to do is go to Projection Mode Parallel and go to this view so that you're looking at the side of the car. What's really important is that you intersect the bottom of the block with your wheel fairings. Not too much so that the ground is significantly different, but just a little bit. Make that about twice as high as the car. Go about 3 car lengths in front. You want to make sure when whatever you're doing behind is pretty long, so probably about that long. And I am going to make this a little bit wider. Maybe something like that. And that looks good. Create, close. So what I'm going to do here is go to Surfaces, right click on Block Surface, Split by Patch. No. I'm going to split by patch. I hope that didn't break anything. So you need to name your surfaces so that it's easier to do stuff later. So that was my inlet. This is my ground. Create. And this is my outlet. Create. Close. So I've got all of these things perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is do a surface wrapper on the car. So New, Surface Preparation, Surface Wrapper. I'm going to select the assembly, click OK. Go to Default Controls, go to Base Size, change this to 0.1. Go to Volume of Interest, change that to External. Execute. That might take like 5-10 seconds to do. And so the next thing I'm going to do is a Boolean subtract. So as soon as this finishes, I'm going to do that. Perfect. So Boolean, new operation, Boolean subtract. Your input parts are going to be your block in your surface wrapper, and your target part is just the just the block. Execute operation upon creation, and that shouldn't take too long to do. So the next thing that you're going to do is your physics continuum. And actually, you should probably take a look at your subtract first and make sure it looks fine. And if you want to know how I got to this, just slow down the video and you can see what buttons I clicked on. But so you should be able to see 4 very clear wheel fairings sticking out from the bottom, and then if you go transparent using that button, if you look at the car, there shouldn't be any chassis bars or anything inside the car. So anyway, once that's done, you want to go to Continue, right click, New, Physics Continuum, right click, select models, 3-dimensional, steady, gas, segregated flow, constant density, turbulent, capsule and turbulence, and then use cell quality remediation, close that. You want to go to initial conditions here, go to velocity, and the velocity you're going to set at -15 meters per second. You can look at your coordinate grid here and try to figure out what direction that's supposed to be in, but yeah, ours is negative in the z direction. So once that's done, my next step is to do my regions. In order to do that, I'm going to go up here, go to subtract, right click, and assign parts to regions. So this is fine. You want to create a boundary for each part surface, apply, close. Now if I go to regions, I'm going to see this region here, go to boundaries, and I'm going to have all of these different things. My inlet, I'm going to set that as a velocity inlet. My outlet, I'm going to set that as a pressure outlet. And for my inlet, I need to set the velocity value here. So velocity magnitude, set that to 15 meters per second. Okay. So your next step is your automated mesh. In order to do that, you need to first go to operations, right click, new, mesh, automated mesh. How much time do I have to? Alright, I got about 5 minutes. Okay, surface remesher, trim cell mesher, prism layer mesher, and that's good. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to default controls, go to base size, change this to 0.1 meters. And then you want to, everything else that should good. Maximum cell size, make that like 5,000% of the base. Perfect. So now you're going to have to create 2 new blocks, and so I don't confuse myself, I'm going to call this one wind tunnel. And my new shape part, new block, if I click on the block, my blue bubbles will come back. I want to get parallel with the side of this. So basically this block that you're making here is supposed to encompass only the car, with maybe a foot or so on each side left. So bring that all the way in and maybe go to there. On the height, don't go too short, maybe a couple feet on top of the car. And then the width, bring that in there too. I'm gonna get parallel with the side of this. There. The back of this, I guess. So okay, so width-wise, we're going somewhere around there. So create that, close, and then you're gonna rename this new block as car refinement. And then you want to go to parts, new shape part block, right? So same deal, where you click there, your little blue things come back. And then this one is going to be, you're going to try to encompass everything behind the car. Not everything behind the car, just maybe about 2 or 3 car lengths. So try to start off with where the last one ended. Zoom out here. And we're going maybe like that long. And then we can bring the width down. Bring the height down a little bit, make sure it didn't go too low. Yeah, I can probably go even narrower actually. Alright, that looks good, so I'm going to create that, close, and this new block I'm going to rename that and make it wake refinement. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is go back to your automated mesh, go to custom controls, right click, new surface control, and the surface control here you want to select your part surfaces, and whoa. Alright, let's make a volumetric control first before we do that. So new volumetric control and volumetric control. Yeah, the first thing that you're gonna do is just go with the car refinement, right? So open that up, go to controls, go to surface remesher, turn that on, go to trimmer, turn that on, go to prism layer mesher, turn that and that on. So you want to go to values, your custom size, you're going to set it absolute, and you're going to set it to 0.025 meters. And your custom prism values, actually, yeah, 0.25 is good. Custom prism values, number of prism layers, set that to 10 or 11, let's go with 11. And the total thickness is absolute, and you're going to set that to 0.04 meters. And then you're going to make a new volumetric control. And in here, the part that you're going to select is going to be your wake refinement. Okay. So for that, you're going to go into controls, surface remesher, turn that on, your trimmer, turn that on. Now your values, your custom size, you want to make that absolute and make it 0.05 meters. I'm going to pause this for just a second here. Shoot, I have like a minute and a half left. So my custom size for this is going to be 0.05 meters. That's perfect. And the last thing I'm going to do is make a new surface control. And the part that I'm going to pick, what the heck? Oh, I haven't set an input part for this. Okay, so for your automated mesh, your input part is going to be your subtract. And then if I go to my surface control here, and I pick a part, you're going to be able to select the subtract, select the wind tunnel, you're going to select the block surface. And then surface control, all you're going to do is go into controls, go to prism layers, and disable them. And then the rest is fine. And then once you've done all this, right click on that and click execute. And I'm going to probably make a new video for what you do after the mesh is done. But it's going to take a good like 30 minutes to finish all of that. So